Hey there, Wondering Watchers. I'm Sony Golden for The Vibe is Golden. Welcome to this edition of Tabloid Tarot, which unveils celebrity news stories that might hit the tabloids next and dig into old scandals that still cause a stir. In today's viewer-requested Tabloid Tarot, we're taking a peek at the future in terms of career, love, and marriage for a British stylish singer. We are throwing Harry Styles back into the spotlight to be Tabloid Tarot. So let's see what message we have for Harry about his future. We have fear. We have be open to change, be receptive to new experiences. Change leads to growth. We have mask. It also says deception, pretending, inconsistence. We have here friendship. And we have this Samaritan card. The light attribute says refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Shadow attribute, exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. So with these cards here, this fear, be open to change, and this mask card, to me is kind of indicating that Harry is intentionally trying to put himself in situations that he may have in the past been afraid of or put up a false front for, and possibly kind of exploring, different aspects of himself. With the Samaritan card, it does indicate some this intention of being more honest about his feelings, about who he is, maybe things in his past that something that he may have ignored or brushed off or underappreciated or had a certain negative view of. It's almost an intentional trying to explore those things. And with this friendship card, I think it's interesting. I think it's almost kind of starting at being honest with himself and intentionally trying to put himself or to deal with what he was afraid of before. And it's making me think of his reading that I did with Taylor Russell, and I got a sense that they were more like friends, or that he was more trying to, really wanting to see her perspective or interested in her perspective of things, and it was kind of more growing from a friendship thing. So, but now they're actually dating publicly, so it's almost as if I get a sense that grew from a place of just trying to be open to something new, and it's really led to this intentional shift or change for Harry, and he might go back to playing with his image, playing with how he wants to present himself, because he's kind of being more open to things he wasn't open to before. So I'm going to go ahead and put down some cards here to explore the titillating tidbits of Harry's yet-to-be-revealed story. So in terms of what he is kind of trying to discover about himself, to learn, to master, we have the King of Pentacles. In terms of what he's drawn to, we have the Queen of Pentacles. In terms of how he kind of serves others or gives gifts to the world, we have here the Fool. In terms of how he navigates his career path, we have the Three of Swords. And in terms of how he navigates his love path, we have another Three of Wands. So I'm going to put out some more cards here to see what is on that career path, and then what is on that path for love. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck, the influencing energy, we have this Ace of Cups. So really wanting to come from a place of genuine love and connection. And that's why I feel like this friendship thing, it's a very pure state, and kind of starting as that as the baseline for what he wants to do in life or pursue. So Actually, I'm going to go ahead and start clarifying these cards. In terms of like the King of Pentacles, his, what he's trying to master, he is, wanting to be a provider, protector, someone who has material wealth and success. And so it seems like he's kind of already there, which is possibly why he's drawn to the Queen of Pentacles, someone who is grounded, as someone who knows themselves, is compassionate, someone who is, I would say, caring and supportive, but also has their own ability to take care of themselves. So I'm going to clarify this King of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Swords. So for Harry, wanting to kind of not only be this type of provider, protector, someone who has built up their own wealth, but feeling a sense of needing to be true in his actions, like kind of almost, cut ties to any fears or any falsities. So let's take a look at the Queen of Pentacles, who he's drawn to. We have here the 10 of Wands. So it's almost a sense of like he's drawn to big goals, wanting to really kind of accomplish a lot in life, especially with this King of Pentacles. But he's also drawn to, people who can almost take care of themselves so that he doesn't have to, I would say, coddle, so he can still continue on his own like journey and path. Let's see here, all these cards just wanted to fly out. So let's take a look at the Fool. It's kind of like this is about how he kind of like his service to the world, like what he does for people in general, and this concept of the Fool, of just running after what it is that you love with open heart, open arms, like really kind of giving yourself to life is like his gift to the world, giving us that feeling, or helping people like maybe be open to change and face whatever fears they might have. We have the Knight of Cups. So his ability to kind of like convey a sense of emotional connection, yearning, creativity, being like a dreamer, like he really can help people like feel that within themselves so that they can like pursue changes, their future with a sense of looking at the possibilities. So let's take a look at this Three of Swords for how he navigates his career path. This is like card of like disappointment and heartbreak, pain, suffering. But it's also about threes in general are about like creating and kind of expanding. So when it comes to navigating his love path, we've got the Three of Wands, where it's just kind of planning for, having this big King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, like physical connection, but also connection in terms of like their ideals and goals. But it's almost as if with this love path, being open to be impacted by someone else. But here with the Three of Swords, when it comes to his career path, it's almost like, maybe he's been burned in the past, or he's afraid of, because you have this fear here in this Mass card, he's afraid to a certain degree of like how he, presents himself. So I'm going to clarify this Three of Swords. We have the Nine of Cups. So there is a desire to like be like happy, to be true to his beliefs and his desires, and maybe there is some compromise, and he doesn't want to be fake. He has to kind of deal with realities of being disappointed. Maybe in terms of his future, there are things he's going to want to do for himself, things that are different and it might not be like well received. So I'm going to take a look at this Four of Pentacles here. So on his career path in the future, we have the Four of Pentacles. So definitely a sense of wanting to have control, possibly, of his image, how he appears, his identity, how he makes money in general. The King of Swords here. That to me kind of feels like wanting to be clear about his intentions, it's almost like wanting to protect, even with this Nine of Wands. It's like a very like protecting what he cares for. So it's almost a sense of wanting to make sure he gets, paid for his work, that he wants to, that he's going to have to like maybe deal with some legal issues, maybe someone trying to either buy rights to his song or, well, let's just go ahead and clarify. Let's see about the Four of Pentacles here. We have the Five of Cups. So again, that concept of like wanting to possibly change, do things differently, and not necessarily being like everything being well received for that. So let's see about the King of Swords. We have the Three of Cups here. So it is kind of like being a little bit more grown up with this King of Swords and this Three of Cups. Definitely being supported, but also needing to make sure that he has like kind of like, let's say there's like a One Direction regrouping, like making sure that it's just not like fun. Like he's got to be the grown up there, or he feels the need to kind of be protective of his image, his time. He might be like, oh yeah, One Direction reunion tour, whatever, that's great, but he's going to take that from a very like protective, analytical, legal approach. So let's see about the Nine of Wands here. We have here the Eight of Pentacles. So kind of again that concept of really working and putting your heart and soul into creating something, creating art, creating an image that like he's going to want to protect. So in terms of his career path, I see for his future that there's going to be trying some different things, trying to, switch things up, not necessarily wanting to rest on what he's done in the past, but also not necessarily, not necessarily everyone loving everything that he's going to do creatively going forward. So let's take a look at how he navigates this love path with the Three of Wands here. Kind of feel like kind of taking his time, seeing what's there, but really having a goal of like meeting his ideal person or match. We have here the Four of Cups. So I feel like Harry, in terms of his love, is not going to, doesn't want to settle, isn't someone who is going to get into a place of acceptance. Here with the Five of Swords, this is kind of an indication of like fights, of like really winning at all costs when really no one wins. But you also have the Two of Cups. So this is like a genuine, communication and sharing of emotional connection. And you have the Two of Wands here, which is about kind of planning for something bigger in the future. So let's take a look at the Five of Swords here. Well, these two wanted to come out, so let's see what we have here. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is more about like the past and children, and the Knight of Pentacles is kind of about doing things very slowly, hardworking, and maybe dealing with like reputation and planning for the future. So to me, when it comes to like what's on his future love path with this Five of Swords, it's almost like that, needing to know when to walk away from a lose-lose situation. And to me, this concept of maybe, having kids like later in life is something that is important for him. I guess with the right person, but also not like trying to be in any situation where he needs someone else to be fulfilled. So let's see about the Two of Cups. We have the Six of Pentacles here. Definitely recognizing that whoever he's with, they're going to need to kind of understand he might be in a very powerful position financially, and someone who can really relate to that, someone who isn't going to be with him just for his money, but also recognizing that there might be a power differential right off the bat. So to me, it's almost as if he'd have to be with someone who understands that, like not necessarily someone who is, working a minimum wage job, someone who's also has a certain level of financial success, however that is. And with the Two of Wands here, I'm getting that, like that be open to change, new experiences. So let's take a look at that. We have here the Eight of Swords. I feel like this is kind of saying he, at least for right now, he's planning on kind of like traveling, doing what he wants, going after what he wants, and not feeling restricted by anything. Like he's facing his fears. He's like learning how to, walk away from things that just aren't serving him right now, or just don't serve him in general. So I feel this would be a good time to kind of ask the question of whether or not Harry has already met his, future spouse. So let's see what I have here. I'm going to pull this card. Says choose a new direction. So I guess that means there just isn't one direction. Haha, pun intended. Okay, so, all right, so how about this? If I need to choose a new direction about whether they've met already, let's see if Harry will marry within the next 2 years. Let's see about this one. Says don't stop. Okay, what about the next 4 years? Says no. Okay, what about the next 6 years? Unlikely. Okay, wow. So definitely it's kind of seeming like this concept of being, having kids or settling down anytime soon is unlikely. Let's see about within 10 years. Let's see. There's something better. Okay, so it seems like in over 10 years is when Harry's going to marry. And the rest of these, there's like 4 cards. They're just yes and no. So at this point, it's just like 50-50 chance. But I'm going to let's go ahead and do like one more like mini spread about Harry and his future spouse. So this here is just going to be a few cards about their meeting, kind of like their perspective of their like meetup feelings. So what brings them together? We have the Page of Wands. So Harry's perspective of their meeting, we have the Eight of Pentacles. And in terms of the future spouse perspective, we have the 9 of Wands. Okay, so in general, this is like, this card is about their meeting in general, like what that's like. We got the 2 of Wands. And then we have Harry's feelings about their connection, and then future spouse's feelings about that connection. Oh, wow, interesting. Okay, so, and then I'm going to pull one more card here to kind of be like, you know, what's the ultimate plan going forward? We have the 4 of Swords. Okay. So in terms of like what brings them together with this Page of Wands, I get the sense that, you know, this could be some kind of travel, creative endeavor. I'm going to go ahead and clarify as well. Oh, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Death card. So changes, transformation, growth. Okay, so I'm going to clarify this Page of Wands. It's like who or what brings them together. It's either someone who is kind of a creative individual, someone who is like younger, maybe actor, actress. So let's go ahead and clarify that. We have the 7 of Pentacles. It does seem like it has to do, maybe even a singer, like this is, seems like a working towards something, a planning situation brings them together. In terms of Harry's kind of perspective of that meeting, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So it could be, again, like something to do with work, like maybe some kind of, I'm not going to say a coworker, but someone that they could collaborate with, someone in their same kind of field, someone that he can kind of learn from. So I'm going to clarify that. We have here the 6 of Pentacles. So almost like his perspective of it is like this is an individual, like maybe in this, for a potential project. If this is like this meeting is like a potential project, someone who wants to like get into songwriting or acting or something along those lines. And then this is like almost like a meet through friends, and someone who like, oh, hey, you're someone that kind of does something that I'm interested in, or, you know, I see that you are like giving to a charity, or you have something like you're wearing some designer outfit that I kind of recognize. It's almost just discussing whether or not they would work well together in being in the same group of collaborators. In terms of the future spouse's perspective of the meeting with the 9 of Wands here, I get the sense that it's almost they were expecting things to go bad, possibly, you know, their feelings here with this 3 of Swords. Maybe there's other things going on in their life that they were hoping wouldn't kind of overtake the interaction. But let's go ahead and clarify the 9 of Wands. We have here Page of Cups. So to some degree, this person maybe could have a child when they meet, or someone who is kind of all over the place, someone who is really trying to get ahead, trying to be like a creative individual, and trying to follow their dreams, but, you know, not really having major success, kind of maybe breaking in or starting to get recognized, something along those lines. But in terms of how their meeting goes, this 2 of Wands, it seems like at least there is a spark. There is kind of like, hey, let's get each other's digits. I want to, you know, talk to you some more, get your perspective of things. You know, maybe we'll meet up in the future. So let's clarify that. We have here the 10 of Wands. So kind of like, it seems like the future spouse has a lot going on, a lot of ambitions and goals. And in the other reading I just did, kind of indicates that, I I believe in terms of what Harry is kind of drawn to, the Queen of Pentacles was clarified by the Ten of Wands. So kind of, it's almost as if Harry sees this individual as someone who has their own goals, their own ambitions, really working hard towards that. And maybe like because of the Six of Pentacles over here, Harry's like, oh, we're in the same kind of social group, collaborator group. So there's a sense that this person can take care of themselves like financially. But in terms of like their feelings, kind of since this meetup, we have Queen of Wands for Harry's kind of like feelings about this person. So attracted to this person, feeling that this person is someone who would go far, someone who, would become like a star, gain a lot of attention. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify the Queen of Wands. We have here the Five of Wands. I feel like this person, their feeling is this person is feisty, kind of does, what they want, what they're passionate about. Maybe this person is a Leo or fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius. They're just very like, I want to say ballsy. They're very kind of ballsy and kind of, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to get where I want to in life, whether someone helps me or not. But in terms of the Three of Swords, in terms of the feelings that the future spouse has from this, I'm going to clarify that because, they're kind of where they go from here with the Four of Swords is a kind of healing of the Three of Swords. So, maybe this was just like the fact that this person's feisty. Maybe they got in an argument or get into an argument over something. She feels like he cuts her short or doesn't give credit or, something that's obviously, it's not long lasting. It's kind of like maybe ego bruised a little bit. So let's see about the Three of Swords. We have here the Three of Cups. So, maybe the feeling is like, Harry was talking to another girl or like there's someone in the friend group that said something that's insensitive and almost like it kind of created a connection where it's like, hey, maybe I like said something that offended you type of thing. I don't know you that well, but let's kind of move on from this and kind of take some time for ourselves. But because of this like Two of Wands connection and the spiciness, it could be like he really wanted to try, this could be that like, being open to new experiences and growth. So, maybe there's something where their initial interaction, there is like some discord. And from this, Harry kind of sees this person's like feisty. And there's some like chill time, but a sense of like Harry is intending on like following up with this person. So I'm going to clarify this Four of Swords here. We have here the Sun. So almost a sense of like what I'm getting from this is like kind of like a disagreement. And you kind of like, if you get in a disagreement and you kind of say things to someone or you kind of challenge someone, you start taking some time and like thinking and rethinking what they said, what you said, what if you said something differently? And it's almost like this time of like dwelling kind of created this curiosity and this like draw to kind of see like what else is there. And it's kind of making me think of this like friendship card here and this concept of like really like facing your fears, facing things that are uncomfortable and really wanting to kind of pull back the masks and see what's really there. So I feel like this person, this future spouse kind of hits the right things in terms of like the basic day-to-day attraction, but how they are, like their feistiness, their ability to like really kind of speak their mind in when it might not be popular, you know, like whatever it is that they have to say, it might not be accepted by the mainstream, or it might be controversial. But this kind of discord almost makes it so there is more attention to this person and how this person can kind of maybe, you know, help Harry see things in a whole new light. So I'll have to do a separate reading on the specifics of Harry's future spouse because it's already a lot for one video. So thanks for watching this edition of Tabloid Tarot. We'll see you next time. Take care.